Hi, I wanted to welcome you to the Divorce Planning Podcast. I'm Carri Goldring, and I'm in the mortgage business, and I do planning pre-divorce for people who are either going to refinance their home, do an equity buyout, or plan to purchase a new home and make sure that everything in the divorce decree is worded properly and the numbers in the planning is taken care of so that you can go through the underwriting process smoothly. And I would like to introduce you to other people who are interested in the divorce planning process so you can get a real education of what's involved. Hope you enjoy. Hi, I want to introduce to you Max Emmer, who is a family law attorney, and I'm going to have Max introduce himself and tell you a little bit about his specialty. Hi, Max.
Hi, Carrie. Thanks for having me. By way of brief background, my name is Max Emmer. I've been an attorney in the state of Michigan for 10 years. I have my own boutique family law firm in Bloomfield Hills, where I focus almost exclusively on collaborative and amicable, and as I like to call it, the easier divorces. And really my focus on the cases and clients I tend to get and curate are people who either don't need to or don't want to get into the weeds, do not want to get into these really protracted, nasty divorces, and realize, for better or worse, whatever their feelings might be, they and their families are better off just kind of getting through it in an efficient, cost-effective manner.
Night. Will you explain for people who don't know, when you do the collaborative divorce, there's a different outcome or way of thinking when you're doing that? Will you just explain a little bit what that is?
Sure. So in a traditional litigated divorce, it is party A versus party B, attorney A versus attorney B. It is very adversarial. I like to think even in those cases, I get along well with most lawyers, but no one is looking to work together really, even if they might pretend to. It is contentious by its very nature, and you're in court, usually for a long period of time. It's public, it's very invasive, and oftentimes you're not getting any better result. If anything, you're getting the same or slightly worse, but with a lot more time, energy, money expended. Collaborative and other processes are available for people who want to do things, one, in private, two, more efficiently, and three, they don't want to or feel the need to view one another as an enemy. So in collaborative divorce, for instance, there is a multidisciplinary team approach. And yes, each side has their respective counsel, but no one's looking to screw the other. No one is looking to get one over. It's how do we help this couple, this family, get to their next chapter and do so in a amicable and diplomatic fashion.
That's great. And then one thing that I've heard is that you're always looking at the future, like how is this family supposed to look when all is said and done, right?
Absolutely. Like I always say to my clients, and whether it's mediation or just kind of spitballing, especially if there's minor children, you are going to be tied to this person for better or worse for at least until they're 18, if not the rest of their lives. And I try to implore people, and it's easier said than done, but when you're going through this process and you are thinking about slinging mud and dragging each other through that and basically using all your money to make the other person look bad and get what you want, how do you expect to effectively or just on a human basis coexist as a parent with them going forward? Whether it's confirmations or bat mitzvahs or graduations or weddings, there are both life cycle events as well as just general things that you both need to be able to be around each other for. And a lot of lawyers who I think love to get people to sling mud and, get really nasty, the lawyers are done with you. Then it's, oh my God, I just spent a year and a half ruining the other person's life, and now I'm supposed to go sit at my kid's birthday with them. It doesn't work like that. And so
No.
I always say I never dismiss someone's feelings or disappointment or hurt from their marriage, but this process is not the place to work that out.
And would you say this is also a really good place if someone are on two different levels? Like if one is really good with financing and the other isn't, or one spends more time with the children and the other one doesn't, does this put things on more of an even playing field?
I think the biggest thing for someone to do a collaborative divorce or something amicable is both of them to have buy-in. If they're both not interested in doing that, it's never going to work. The one thing I will say, and in collaborative cases, we always, we bring in a financial neutral, so there's a way to protect this. But if there's someone who's at a significant financial disadvantage, either income, monetary, knowledge, and the other party isn't fully up for disclosure and transparency, that is probably not a good collaborative case, because if someone is not going to be fully open, fully present, willing to share everything and do what's equitable, then they might need a more traditional case. I really think so long as both parties understand these alternative processes and are interested in doing so, that's the biggest thing.
And would you say in a traditional case, is there some kind of like, I don't know, let's just say BS for lack of a better word, that attorneys kind of focus on to prolong a divorce when maybe in a more collaborative case, you just wouldn't do it because it's more fluff and extensive?
I don't want to cast aspersions on other lawyers, but yes, absolutely. I think there are lawyers out there who, whether it's financial reasons or they just like the fight, yes, I think they stir the pot. I think they muckrake. I think they inflame situations. I always say when clients get referred to me, one refrain they seem to get is, Max will give you good advice. And I had a client recently, and it was a great question. He goes, how do I know it's good advice? And I go, I'm going to tell you how you know, because it is directly against my interests. And he goes, what does that mean? I go, my interests are to tell you to fight, 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 keep going, keep going, keep going. I am always telling you, unless there's a serious issue with your shared children or someone is hiding money, there is really nothing to fight. And so 99% of the time, I am not just advising, I am imploring clients to not fight about things. Because at the end of the day, the lawyers are the only ones who win. And I like making money as much as the next person, but I also think there's a balance.
That's wonderful. So if I have anyone who wants to get a hold of you to ask you more questions or to touch base with you, where's a great place to get a hold of you?
Sure. So my website is www.emmerlawplc.com. My phone number, 248-859-0015. My email address is accessible there as well. I do pride myself. I am nothing if I'm not responsive and communicative. And I always try to help someone come up with a creative and customized look at their case and paths forward that make the most sense for them and their family.
That's wonderful. Give me your phone number one more time so people can write it down.
Sure. My phone number is 248-859-0015. And my email, if you need it, is max@emmerlawplc.com.
You gave us some great information, and I thank you so much for spending time with me.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope it was helpful.
I hope you enjoyed our podcast on divorce planning. I'm Carri Goldring, and I hope you have a great day.